playoff implications on the line here tonight in this pivotal MAC-Red matchup. Hello everybody, I'm Jason Burnt from Macomb Township Government Access along with Brad Fetters, and tonight we come to you from Chippewa Valley High School getting set for an important game here between the Chippewa Valley Big Reds and the Stevenson Titans. And Brad, I say it's an important game with only a couple games left. Take a look at the standings right there on your screen. Chippewa Valley with a big win last week over Dakota allowed them a chance with 2 more wins here to get into the playoffs with 6 wins.
Yeah, those 2 wins will get them to the magic number of 6, which will automatically qualify them for the MHSAA playoffs. They don't want to win 5 games and have to worry about the numbers coming out their way. So 6 wins automatically gets them into the playoffs, and it starts here tonight against a very good Stevenson team that's had a little bit of an up and down season.
Yeah, Stevenson's got some playmakers on their team. However, the results just haven't been there for them this year. What are they going to have to do here tonight to maybe challenge Chippewa Valley?
Well, both of these schools have had a little bit of a rebuilding mode after a 7-3 records. Both teams 7-3 last year. Stevenson's going to have to come up with that big play, maybe on special teams or defensively, to kind of shift the momentum and maybe get the ball on their side of the field. 1 or 2 of those plays really could shift the momentum in this ball game.
As for Chippewa Valley, obviously with all these playoff hopes on the line, they've got some players out here tonight, but they're a young team and they're just really going to be looking across the board for anybody to make plays here tonight.
Well, you mentioned that big win last week against Dakota. It's something they haven't done since 2004. And that's beat Dakota in the regular season. So hopefully carrying a little bit of that momentum over from last week, and hopefully no letdowns from the Big Reds here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Merchant even mentioned that to me before we started here, that he was worried about maybe a little bit of a letdown after a big win. We'll see. Should be an outstanding matchup. Stay with us. We'll be back in a few moments for the opening kickoff on Macomb Township Government Access.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe, and it builds character.
There's no doubt that participation in extracurricular activities help teach lessons you can't always learn in the classroom. Hard work, teamwork, ethics, integrity, respect. And we think football does that very well.
It's safe because the rules.
High school rules started taking the head out of the game 40 years ago and are constantly changing to keep safety at the forefront.
The coaching.
School coaches are, above all else, teachers. We bring to the game an educational perspective.
And the equipment are better than ever before.
Game equipment has evolved over the years to enhance player safety. And in high school football, we work hard to ensure that it's properly fitted.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
The statistics don't lie. Over the years, the most serious injuries are greatly down. And we do a better job than ever before being aware about injuries during games and about young persons return to play when an injury is suspected.
It's safe and it builds.
Strong schools and communities.
There's nothing like a football Friday night, where everything that's good about schools and sports is on display.
Lifetime memories and friendships.
Great relationships are built through sports, not just on the field, but on the bus rides and all other team activities.
And tomorrow's community leaders.
So many leaders played high school sports and gained the skills that have made them outstanding adults.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
And we're back here on Macomb Township Government Access. Jason Burnt and Brad Fetters getting set for the start of this football game between Chippewa Valley and Stevenson. The Big Reds in the home black uniforms with the white helmets. Stevenson, the white jerseys with the black helmets. Stevenson won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so Chippewa Valley will begin with the ball first.
We kind of talked about the fact that this is really an important game for Chippewa Valley coming to tonight, seeking that 5th win, and more importantly, an opportunity to make the playoffs with that all-important 6th win. Jason, made the playoffs the last 4 years and 8 out of the last 10, hoping to keep that streak alive. And it's a short kick.
Try for an onside kick. It's botched. Ball loose. Let's see who comes away with it. So Stevenson tries to surprise the Big Reds right off the bat. Chippewa Valley indicating, at least a couple players indicating that they have it. But how about that? The Titans on the road trying to come up with a little trickery right off the bat.
Yeah, a little pop-up kick there. It went 20 yards straight up in the air. Terrific idea there for Sterling Heights, catch Chippewa Valley off guard, but fortunately for the Big Reds, they recover, and it's a Big Reds offense, Jason, that really got going early in their win over Dakota last week. Their opening drive took them less than a minute to score a touchdown and really kind of set the tone in that game last week against the Cougars.
They're led by sophomore quarterback Tommy Schuster. He'll throw on first down, pass complete up to the 40, into the 41-yard line. Nice job on first down. Pass completed right there to Jacob Rybicki.
It's a nice gainer there on first down, just that quick pass. And that's them nearly 8 yards on the completion all the way up to the 46.
They will throw it again on second down, looking deep. Got a man out there. Laying out for it was number 8, who unfortunately we don't have a number 8 on our roster here, but what a heck of a try right there, but it's incomplete. It'll bring up third down.
Once again, the ball has been spotted at the 46-yard line, third down.
So going for that home run ball there on second down and short. It's a good opportunity to go for it. You have that down to work with in order to move the chains, and nearly got the Titans offside there, and Chippewa Valley will now look over to their sideline for the play call. So nearly got themselves a free set of downs on that offsides play.
The hard count nearly got him to jump. Stevenson brings a little pressure up the middle, and they're going to stuff him. Good job of the Titans there. Led by big number 52, Savion Lee.
Loss of 1 on the play, fourth down.
So big stop there on third down. It was almost a must for the Titans here early. It's the Titans defense, Jason. It's giving up nearly 32 points per game after stifling teams to the tune of only 12 points per game last season. That's nearly 3 touchdown difference in terms of defense. This is a team that was really senior laden last year and have had to rebuild this year.
Chippewa Valley punts the ball away. Takes a heck of a bounce for the Big Reds. Rolling all the way down past the 10-yard line, down to the 8. And that's where Stevenson will take over. An excellent punt. The Titans start with poor field position in their first possession.
It's a Titan team that likes to keep the ball on the ground, wear you down offensively in terms of just chugging along and picking up yardages in chunks. And they're going to have to get a little bit more two-dimensional if they hope to pull the upset here tonight. They're going to have to get the job done through the air eventually this year.
Quarterback Nico Nixon, number 15, hands the ball off, looking to the right side. Pickup of a few yards right there. Tough to see the numbers, Brad, with these transparent letters, the numbers that they have out there, but
Casey Starks on the carry.
Number 88, Casey Starks, the senior wide receiver.
They elect to run it the first time with the receiver and not the running back, so they brings up second down and 6 now for the Titans.
Talk about a perfect night for football, though, huh?
Yeah, nice
Middle of October.
Nice cool night. They try another misdirection. This time it's number 23 on the carry, Nick Stedfeld. Not much there, so it'll bring up third down.
Darian Greeley in on the stop.
Yeah, I mentioned off the top, Coach Merchant ran into him coming in and talked to him for a few minutes. He indicated he was worried about maybe a little letdown coming off a big homecoming win last week against our arch rival Dakota.
Sure.
As you mentioned, the first time they've beaten them since '04. So it's been a long time, and they're riding that high. Sometimes it's easy to have a letdown the following week against, at least on paper, a lesser opponent. They'll throw it here on third down, incomplete. Contact out there, but no flags. It'll be fourth down.
Yeah, 11 straight regular season losses for the Big Reds in that series against Dakota. They have beaten them in the playoffs, but the Chippewa Valley faithful here in attendance storming the field last week as they defeat their big rival from the same school district.
Doing the punting pampered for the Titans.
Dakota's almost in the same exact position now as Chippewa Valley is. Both of these teams looking for 2 wins as the snap is botched and the kick goes straight up in the air. A bad punt No one's paying attention. You got to be careful it doesn't touch somebody out there, but it'll be down at about the 37-yard line, and Chippewa Valley is going to have an excellent field position because of the botched snap.
So the battle of the special teams so far has gone the way of Chippewa Valley. A terrific punt to pin Stevenson deep into their own end, and they've really flipped the field now and have the Titans with their backs against the wall here with 9 minutes exactly remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mentioned that, finished that thought. I mentioned the two teams, Dakota and Chippewa, in the same exact position. The Cougars have Romeo tonight, so that's not going to be an easy contest, and they close out with L'Anse Creuse North. This Chippewa team will close out with Anchor Bay, so I guess at least on paper, Brad, Chippewa Valley with an easier road perhaps to get to that 6-win total. They will throw the ball on first down again. Looking out there, got a man wide open, caught, end zone, touchdown, Big Reds, Jacob Rybicki. Well executed pass there, and Chippewa Valley takes the 6-0 lead.
Man, that was way too easy, a play-action play. And Rybicki found himself right in the center of the football field, wide open. It doesn't come much easier than that. He just had to make sure he held that pass in. And just like last week, Chippewa Valley gets on the scoreboard first.
You indicated they can strike quick, and you can't strike much quicker than that. One play, touchdown. Extra point here upcoming, 8:53 left to go in the first quarter. The kick is up, and it is good, so the Big Reds here on senior night, the last home game of the regular season, lead at 7-0.
Tough spot now for Stevenson. You see some of the players coming out for this kick return, heads down, and for a season that really hasn't gone according to plan, it starts out here on the road fairly ugly with 8:53 now remaining. They find themselves trailing 7-0, and you're just looking for some sort of positives here as you wind down the season if you're a Stevenson fan. And their lone win this season, a 35-0 win over Sterling Heights, which was their crossover game. So tough sledding here all season long for the Titans.
Yeah, Coach Frederick, obviously. And, didn't anticipate a down year maybe like this, but, all of these coaches, they openly admit, you never really know. Everything is so wide open in the MAC Red, and, obviously you have a couple of teams that have kind of surprised some people. Eisenhower is, I think, much better than people thought they were going to be.
It didn't surprise you.
Didn't surprise me too much, but in that regard, too, you pick Warren Mont at the beginning of the year, and they've turned out to have an outstanding season thus far, and the two of them are playing here as we speak. To see who's going to win the MAC Red either outright or if they're going to co-share it. So, I think you look at it from top to bottom. No one anticipates maybe a one-win season, but there's a lot of tough teams across the board. But Stevenson, after the touchback, will start with their next possession here from the 20. We saw them struggle offensively, and like you said, they just haven't been able to put much together on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, they're only averaging 11 points per game, less than a touchdown in league play.
Nixon fakes the handoff, will keep it. Picks up some yardage before finally being gang tackled here. Still on his feet. Good effort there, but it's going to bring up second down.
Frank D'Ascenzo, their quarterback last season, he was a little bit of a do-everything player for them offensively, a dual threat back there at the quarterback position, and losing a player like that to graduation, it's been really tough to find any sort of answer this year. And don't forget, the Stevenson team was, about a play away from capturing the MAC Red title last year.
Well, I got to just mention real quick, we have a change, and that was not Nixon. We have a change at quarterback. Number 18 now is in Todd Pappard. He's a senior quarterback, also a kicker, but that was not Nixon. Trying to hard count the Big Reds offsides, and now we do get a whistle.
Play has been whistled dead. False start indicated by the line judge.
And it went against Stevenson, so they tried a hard count, and they got his own guys to jump off sides.
After the reset, it'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball rest just inside the 20-yard
So
line.
after that nice gain on a 1st down and negates it, it's 2nd down and 10.
This is probably just Coach Frederick looking for some sort of spark from the quarterback position. His team already in that 7-0 hole. Really, at this point in the season, what do you have to lose?
So now Pappard out of the gun. Hard count again. They hand it off inside. A little bit of running room there. Nice pickup once again. It's number 88, Casey Stark. So utilizing him in the running game here in the 1st quarter. Brings up 3rd down and 4.
So Starks right now getting the majority of the snaps at the running back type position. He is listed as a wide receiver.
They will hand it off on 3rd down. Starks once again looking for some room, dragging a defender with him. And he's going to have the 1st down. Excellent effort right there by Starks.
Kept the feet moving that time and he drug a couple big reds with him over the chains. Good enough for a 1st down and keeps his drive alive. And this is important for Sterling Heights Stevenson to really get themselves some momentum offensively and keep that big red offense on the sidelines.
After how quick Chippewa Valley scored that last touchdown, yeah, you got to be thinking if you're on that Stevenson sideline, let's just try to grind this out and keep that offense off the field for sure. 1st down and 10 now from the 33.
Archie Highgate in the backfield now for the Titans.
Try that hard count yet again. Quarterback keeper Pappard found some room up the middle. He's going to be taken down short of the 38-yard line.
So it's a little bit of that read option play, and quarterback meets that mesh point with his running back in the backfield, and he can diagnose that play and elect to keep it or hand off. That time wisely going to his left and picking up some sizable distance and yards there on 1st down.
Well, number 18, and we have the announcer here at Chippewa Valley still, I don't know if he's gotten the change or not, but it's number 18 at quarterback. It's not Nico Nixon now. It's Todd Pappard who has come in here on this possession. 2nd down and 4. They hand it off, trying the right side. That's number 5, Archie Highgate. Not much room. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Stevenson really got the job done last year with their offense and defensive lines, and you kind of get that sense right now that the holes just really aren't opening up there for the Titans, and the Big Reds are kind of been able to exploit that, stopping the run game here.
Third down and 3. With a beautiful sunset over out the horizon behind the high school. Kind of a cool look here off the football field. They hand it off, now looking left side. Some running room there. That's big number 8 carrying the ball, Ahmad Abdoud. And they're going to have another 1st down.
Nice block by number 17, Noah Schrock.
There's that number 9, that's Jerome Cooper. Excuse me, number 9. See, Brad, I told you these numbers are.
I can see how you could make that mistake. I'm glad you're the play-by-play guy tonight.
We don't have a spotter down on the field. These 9s look like 8s and 5s look like 6s. But maybe I'll have to talk to Coach Frederick and tell him, hey, can you get some jerseys that are solid numbers so we can read them?
Well, it is rare that Sterling Heights Stevenson does have the names on the backs of their jersey, which is rare in high school athletics. So might help you out a little bit, maybe.
They hand it off right side. Cooper again. This time he'll cut it back inside. About a 4 or 5 yard pickup. So Stevenson's doing exactly what they want to do. They methodically moving the ball down the field here, taking time off the clock and not allowing Chippewa Valley's offense to get back out on the field.
7 plays in the second drive, all have been on the ground, and that's what the Titans want to do, is just ground and pound you. And so far, so good on the second drive. Chippewa Valley going to have to dig in deep here with the ball on their side of the 50-yard line and come up with some sort of stop.
And now number 15, Nico Nixon, does check back in. So they are swapping to a 2-quarterback system here. So we'll have to really keep an eye on who's going to be out there at quarterback. I didn't want to say under center because they have been running everything out of the shotgun. Nixon takes it. He will throw the ball. Looking to his right. Now he pulls it down. He's going to run. He's got some room. Looking for the marker. Right there. We'll see where they spot it. I don't know if he got the first down or maybe just a little bit short. But it'll bring up, looks like third down. Let's see where they place this ball. Yeah, it'll be about a half a yard shy, Brad.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see because that was a design pass play there. And the pump fake got those 3 defenders off his back. And it'll be interesting to see if they bring him in on passing downs and want him to be involved in the passing game. And Papper will be involved more in that kind of dual threat role.
He used his legs on that play. They hand it off inside, losing his footing that time. It looked like Casey Starks. He might have enough for the first down, however.
Starks a little slow to get up. He appears to be okay.
The officials, let's see where they put the ball. Looks like they're going to put it on the other side of the 40, so that should be enough for a first down, and it is.
First down indicated by the referee.
So another first down for the Titans. Coming up on 3 minutes to play here in the opening quarter.
Stevenson nearly averaging 5 yards per play on this drive, and all on the ground. Haven't aired it up once.
Hand it off again up the middle, and a little bit of misdirection there. Starks fumbles the ball, and it looks like it popped right into the arms of a Big Red defender. That's number 28 right there for the Big Reds, Brian Natus.
That's an absolute backbreaker for the Titans. You're driving downfield, you pick up the first down, and in the process of going down, a helmet hit the ball and lodged it free. Credit the Big Reds for causing some chaos out there, but man, if you're a Titan fan, you just got to be shaking your head. Nothing going right now.
Kind of a look at what I found fumble recovery as it was popped up in the air, and you didn't have to wait for that thing to bounce around. You just kind of caught it while it was up in the air. So the Big Reds now in business, up 7, starting from the 30-yard line. Tommy Schuster once again out of the gun, utilizing 4 wide receivers. They hand it, little trickery, end around.
Looking to pass.
Yeah, they were looking pass. Now nobody open. Now they're just going to have to try to scramble. A loss on the play. Stevenson had that play well defended.
And Chippewa Valley must have shown that one too many times on tape. They come with the jet sweep. The reverse, and the man that took the reverse was looking to throw that football and lucky to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
It was a smart play by Rybicki, who had the ball not to force that throw. And this play is going to be ruled dead. Let's see what the call is.
Play has been whistled dead.
It's going to be a false start against the Big Reds. So Chippewa Valley moving in the wrong direction here, as it'll bring up.
False start is the indication.
It'll bring up second down and 15. Ball placed at the 25. I'll give the Big Reds offense some credit, and the coaches trying to come up with a game plan to maybe, catch Stevenson off guard. They try an option to the right side, a little bit of running room, getting that 5 yards plus maybe a couple more back.
It's not too often you see a starting quarterback listed as a sophomore, especially in the MAC Red, the highest level of football there is in Macomb County. But Schuster's really kind of stepped into that role and been a guiding light so far for the Big Reds this year.
Promising future if he's going to be the quarterback in the next couple of seasons. Out of the gun, he'll throw it again, this time to the left side. Pass complete. A little bit of running room out there. Rybicki broke it out to the left side.
Late flag came out as well.
A lot of times that's usually in the avenue of a hold or
Holding downfield by maybe one of the wide receivers.
The left side to spring the ball carrier. There is a flag down at the end of the play.
Have to wait and see. Looks like they're coming back, so.
Sterling Heights Stevenson not shying away from these blitzes in the early goings. It's coming to bite them a little bit with these short passes, these slant routes. We'll see if Chippewa Valley continues to exploit that.
Big Reds with a 7-0 lead, 1:49 left to go in the first. They'll have the ball now as it's placed at the 30-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 10. Back where they started. They will throw it on 3rd down. Pass over the middle, tipped, nearly picked off, but it's incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down. That's number 45 for Stevenson, which we don't have a 45. So great play by whoever number 45 is, and they will get Chippewa Valley's offense off the field once again, forced to punt.
This late in the season, you oftentimes
46.
see guys get called up from the JV level, but
Brad O'Mara, 46, Brad, was the player that made that play, and I'm going to stop guessing on these numbers of Stevenson. It's a good punt away. Going to be taken at the 35-yard line by number 5 of Stevenson. That's Archie Highgate. Brings it up and is tackled up over the 40 to like the 42-yard line.
Takes it back to the 40-yard line, 1st down and 10.
So now Stevenson, no harm, no foul, I guess, on that last fumble. Of course, they gave up a little bit of field position, but see if they can put something together once again.
Yeah, really dodged one there. If you go down 2 touchdowns, the way your offense has sputtered this season, it'd almost be the death of you here in this ball game. So dodging a bullet there, their offense goes back to work.
They hand it off right side, Starks. Now he cuts it back inside. And you know, Stevenson's had some success here in the first quarter, Brad, with those cutbacks. They started out going outside and make the adjustment. They cut it back up inside, and there's some yardage there.
How about the faith that Coach Frederick has in Starks, too, to put him right back out there after he fumbled the football away and going to keep feeding the big guy in the backfield.
2nd down and 5, minute to go. They hand it off to him once again, right side, got some room, going to have a 1st down, still on his feet, taken down just shy of the 40. Ball's going to be placed at the 41-yard line, but in the Chippewa Valley territory and a fresh set of downs. So the Big Reds are going to have to try to find a way to stop this running game of Stevenson.
And what Stevenson's been doing here is they've been lining up 4 wide receivers and kind of spreading Chippewa Valley out, making them think pass and just handing the ball off in that simple draw play. And give credit to Starks. He's been able to find the lanes here tonight and he's picked up some yards in big chunks.
This may be the final play of this first quarter, depending. And they fake the handoff, and it's going to be Nixon holding on to it, right side. But a 3 or 4 yard pickup remains inbounds, so the clock will continue to run.
On the stop for the Big Reds. It'll bring up 2nd down for the Titans.
I'll place that ball at the 39-yard line, so going to be a 2nd down and 7 coming up, but that's the end of the opening quarter. Chippewa Valley on their home field, they lead it 7-0. Stay with us. We'll be back in a few moments for the start of the second quarter. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Prosecuting Attorney Eric Smith, reminding you it's against the law to consume alcohol if you're under the age of 21. Underage use or possession of alcohol is a criminal offense with serious legal consequences, up to 93 days in jail, up to a $500 fine, and can stay on your permanent record. A conviction for minor in possession of alcohol can negatively affect your life and prevent you from entering many professions. Don't close the door to your future. Don't drink underage.
Welcome back here, Macomb Township Government Access. Jason Burnt along with Brad Fetters getting set for the start of the second quarter between Chippewa Valley and Stevenson. Titans have the ball. They'll have it 2nd down and 7. Big Reds lead 7-0.
Titans running 15 offensive plays in that first quarter, 14 of them on the ground, 1 pass play that was incomplete. And I guess we found out their MO, what they plan on doing here tonight, and they've done it so far pretty effectively. They really had that drive going at second of the ball game. Fumble stalled them out, but here once again on plus side of the field in Chippewa Valley territory.
Flag down, so not a good way to start the second quarter for the Titans as they'll move back 5 yards in the offsides. Chippewa Valley needs a win here tonight, and they need a win next week against Anchor Bay to get to 6 wins, which would lock them into a playoff spot. They could still possibly get in with 5 wins based on a lot of the teams, Brad, we looked at in the MAC and around the Macomb Area Conference of teams that might be on that border, might finish with 5 wins. And, of course, the Big Reds, even at 5 wins, might have a strong strength of schedule to get them in. But they control their own destiny. Win 2 games, you're in. Quarterback keeper here by the right side. Not sure if that's not Nixon. That's number 18, Todd Pappard. So they have been flip-flopping quarterbacks, and I think maybe Coach Frederick is testing out some of these kids and seeing who's going to be productive for him the remainder of this year that can maybe come in next year and be his quarterback. Nixon, of course, a senior. He's going to move on. So Pappard is also a senior, so he's got his 2 senior guys going. Brad, you're probably right. He's probably just trying to get anything going offensively, knowing that those numbers are down this year and just trying to see where he can find a spark. Fake handoff yet again. They try up the middle, taken down at the 35-yard line.
And if you take away that 35-0 win over Sterling Heights, this is a team that's averaging less than a touchdown per game. So that the game against the Stallions really kind of boosting up their already pretty poor offensive stats.
And we saw them here on our air earlier this season against Dakota, and it was close at the beginning, and then all of a sudden Dakota got 6 touchdowns in the second quarter to jump out to a big lead and a running clock the rest of the game, and Stevenson wasn't able to get any points on the board in that game at all. So we've seen some of their offensive struggles up close. And right now they have the ball on 4th down. They're going to go for it. They will throw it. Got a man out there. Pass caught down to the 17-yard line. That's number 17, Noah Skrock. And Stevenson. Gutsy there on 4th down. They go for it and complete the pass, and now they're in business here in the red zone.
And picking up 20 yards and moving into the red zone and wear a team down by running the football, and it opens up that passing game. The Big Reds, no answer there.
This defense has got to be getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out there a long time. They tried the left side that time with Starks. A couple yards on that pickup. But after a while, Brad, if you're out there quite a bit and it's play after play after play, you know, eventually you're gonna be a little winded. And Chippewa Valley right now has not had an answer for Stevenson's running game other than that fumble that they were able to recover. The Titans have really moved the ball at will against the Big Reds.
And more importantly, it shortens the football game as well, and that's kind of would play into the hand of Sterling Heights Stevenson as well. Probably not as many playmakers as Chippewa Valley. They want to keep their offense on the field and keep those playmakers from the Big Reds off of it.
They try a little end around there.
Another late flag comes in as well.
Yeah, Jerome Cooper came around, took that handoff. Well, let's see what the flag is.
Might be a face mask.
On the carry, Jerome Cooper.
Now they're walking it off, it looks like, half the distance. I think he's got to announce it first, but let's see. Chippewa Valley players are clapping, though. No, but this is a face mask. It's going to go against the Big Reds, so that'll be a first down. That'll be 1st and goal now here for the Titans. Ball is going to be placed at the 2-yard line, or actually almost the 1-yard line.
1st and goal for the Titans.
Let's see what the goal line defense for the Big Reds comes up with here. They've had no answer, and if you're Stevenson, obviously you're going to go back to that well once again, maybe with Cooper or Starks. And right now Starks is to the left of quarterback Nico Nixon. They hand it to him, looking up the middle, close to that goal line, no indication.
Didn't get in.
Looks like he's going to be stopped short. Gonna bring up 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play, 2nd down.
Now under center, Nixon just takes it, rumbles into the end zone. Touchdown, Stevenson.
Smart play. Just get up to that line and hurry up and snap it and take it in yourself. No hesitation that time by Nixon, and he gets the 1-yard TD plunge.
They had run that same formation almost every time, so at the last second when he ran up under center to take that snap, Chippewa Valley was a little confused on where that might go, and he was able to just punch it in. So extra point coming here. Stevenson looking to tie it up. The kick is up, and it is good. And with 8:15 left to go in the half, we are tied up at 7.
With 8:15 to go in the 2nd quarter.
Talk about an answer right there by Sterling Heights. Stevenson, you find yourself trailing in this ball game 7-0, and you have the fumble, and you really could give up right then and there the way the season has gone for them. But talk about some resiliency, and they've stepped up to the challenge here tonight, and they're going to give Chippewa Valley a football game.
Chippewa Valley going to have to come up with an answer on defense. Really, they've been kind of bullied here in this first half by Stevenson's offensive line and the ability to run the football.
After that first drive for Stevenson, I questioned whether this offensive line was going to be able to open up any kind of holes for the Titans here tonight, and they've proved me wrong as well, as they've just done a terrific job on the ground and get ourselves a tie ball game.
Stevenson, another little short kick. They don't, obviously fearful a little bit of Chippewa Valley's return game, trying to keep that ball away from the return men of the Big Reds. So Chippewa Valley will have decent field position here, as it's going to be placed at the 35-yard line. And for an offense that could put up big yardage, you don't want to give them extra field position to work with.
Chippewa Valley winners of 2 straight. We talked about that Dakota game, and they're also coming off a road victory in one of their crossover games against Utica. They'll grind them out 16-12 victory in that game against the Chieftains.
First down play, pass over the middle, caught up over the 40 to about the 41-yard line. Rybicki once again on that catch, and they'll hurry it up to the line.
Gain of 6 on the play, 2nd down.
Rybicki really been the go-to wide receiver here tonight for Chippewa Valley. Talented wide out for them.
They'll throw it once again, and right when we say that, that pass dropped. Incomplete intended for Rybicki.
Maurice McBride, one of the other big targets out there for the Big Reds to pay attention to.
Well, that catch would have given them the first down. Now they're looking at a 3rd down and 3, so a lot of different options here, but primarily Chippewa, you can see the contrast. Chippewa Valley more of a passing team, whereas Stevenson is more of a running style offense. Let's see what Schuster does here out of the gun. A little option, he'll keep it. Looking to run up the middle. Stevenson sniffed that out, and it'll bring up 4th down.
really nothing there. And you said it was the option play, and he looked for the pitch originally, and defensive line for Sterling Heights Stevenson sniffed that play out perfectly and forced a 3-and-out. And yes, Chippewa Valley hit on that big touchdown pass, but their other 3 drives have all resulted in punts.
Obviously, Chippewa Valley going to need some more consistency moving forward. Now they changed the formation. And now what do we got? We're going to get a timeout. Stevenson quickly called a timeout. Chippewa Valley came out into a formation, almost like a passing formation, and Stevenson was not ready for it. They had to burn a timeout.
Kind of put 4 guys out at the wide receiver position and had a smaller line, and good timeout there by Sterling Heights Stevenson to kind of just have a little bit of a reset there.
A smart idea by Chippewa Valley and Coach Merchant to run a play like that. I mean, you're at the portion of the field. Obviously, it's dangerous. You're still in your territory, but you know, a manageable 4th down and 3. You know, obviously Chippewa Valley, 1 quick pass out in the flat, and you'll have a 1st down. So Stevenson recognized that and didn't want any part of it, so they're going to call a timeout. Now they're just going to line up and punt this ball away, it looks like. Titans a little more prepared, though, in case of a fake. They do get the kick away. It's a short one. It's going to bounce in the favor of Stevenson up to about the 38-yard line, and that's where the Titans will start their next possession. And like we mentioned, Brad, they've kind of bullied and manhandled Chippewa Valley down the field twice. If it wasn't for that fumble, who knows? They could have a lead in this game. 6:41 left to go here in the half. Of course, the Titans also deferred to the second half. They'll start the 3rd quarter with the ball. So here we go out of the gun. They run it with Starks up the middle, looking for running room. Breaks away from a tackler, still on his feet. Now he's got a lot of room up in the Chippewa Valley territory. He's going to be taken down near the 20-yard line. A beautiful run by Casey Starks.
Wow.
And the Titans now in business.
The hesitation to make that first man miss springs this long run. This is all on Starks. He does this all on his own. Every single black jersey was on that far side of the field. He's able to cut that to the right side and picks up a huge gainer and all the way into Chippewa Valley inside the 25-yard line. A huge gainer there on 1st down.
Ball placed at the 22. Titans perhaps getting a little bit of confidence here in this first half and able to do something on offense, something that they haven't been able to do throughout most of the season. They hand it off again, left side with Starks. Able to still keep that pile moving. A nice pickup on 1st down.
6 foot, 180 pounds. He's a force to bring down, and right now he's getting into that linebacking core and into the secondary, and those littler guys in that secondary are having a hard time bringing him down.
That brings up 2nd down and 3. And
45 combined yards the last 2 carries for Starks.
He will be to the right of Nixon. He'll get a carry again. He tries to cut it back to the right. Bouncing off defenders. They're pushing him the wrong way. Still on his feet.
Wow.
And all the way down near the goal line. But, boy, Chippewa Valley started pushing him. They started pushing him the wrong direction, and he just kept churning those feet and said, fine, push me towards the end zone. Got pretty close, and his helmet came off. And
he's almost like a Marshawn Lynch. Refuses to go down. Able to pinball and spin his way inside the 5-yard line. He's going to have to come out now. His helmet popped loose.
Got a little resemblance, too, for Marshawn, those dreads. And but he's got the toughness for sure.
Refuses to go down.
1st down and goal now for Stevenson. And now we're going to get a timeout, it looks like, in Chippewa Valley. And their defense has been out there quite a bit in this first half. And I'm sure the defensive coordinator and Coach Scott Merchant, they're probably looking at this like, We need to find a way to get these guys off the field, get a breather, because they are huffing and puffing out there right now.
Stevenson's run 24 plays, a quarter and a half. Compare that to the 10 that Chippewa Valley has run.
Well, time of possession, obviously a big factor in any ball game. When you have the ball on offense more often, you're going to have the ability to put up points. And you know, we're tied, but Stevenson's had the ball almost a 2-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, and don't forget Chippewa Valley's touchdown came on the very first play of that possession. Right. So it's been a defense that spent a lot of time out on the football field, and I think that was kind of their downfall last season. They lost a lot of games in the fourth quarter because they had so many players that played both sides of the football, where come fourth quarter their conditioning and you know their toughness kind of was worn down, and when a defense is out there for this long, it spells doom.
They hand it off to Cooper inside, trying to muscle his way. Going to be short. Nice job by the linebacking core there by Chippewa Valley. Led by big number 2 there. That's Brian Schweiwick. Bring up second down. Yeah, when we talk about Chippewa Valley, they had the ball here in the first half, I believe 3 times, Brad. The one time was a 1-strike touchdown pass. The other 2 times were 3 and out. So Stevenson's had the ball the rest of that time here. They try the same thing. They try to sneak up with Nixon. This time the Big Reds are ready for it. And we got a flag in late, it appeared.
It looked like the back judge might have thrown it.
No gain on the play.
Yeah, there is a flag down. But they tried that same thing as Nixon got up to the line quick and tried to plunge over the goal line, and that time the Big Reds stuffed them. But let's see, it's going to be a face mask, and it's going to go against Chippewa Valley. So that's a heartbreaker right there. Instead of bringing up potentially a 3rd down play, you're going to give them a fresh set of downs from the goal line.
Second face mask call on the goal line.
Well, it's not a personal foul, so actually they're not going to give them a fresh set of downs. So it's going to be 2nd down and goal, just half the distance, which is really an inch. But a personal foul variety would have given them a fresh set of downs from the.
I believe every other level of football it's just a 15-yard penalty now, right? Face mask.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. They try Starks. He's stuffed once again. Good tackle coming from that backside. Wait for him to get up so we can see his number. 55 for Chippewa Valley. It's Kevin Krasnicki. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Krasnicki.
Play by the right side of that D line. No gain on the play. 3rd down Titans.
So they'll bring up 3rd down. Three and a half to go in the half. Let's see if the Titans can take a lead here, one way or the other. They hand it off on a jet sweep. They get into the end zone. Touchdown, Stevenson.
Touchdown, Titans.
And I believe it was Starks coming from the wide receiver position, sweeping across, taking the handoff, and jumping inside for the touchdown. So Chippewa Valley, after striking first, now they find themselves down. Titans are an extra point away from a touchdown lead. Extra point is up, and it is good. So the Titans lead this thing 14-7 with 3:23 left to go in the half. And Brad, really, I don't want to keep using that word letdown, but you know, Chippewa Valley, after an emotional, win last week against their rival Dakota, put everything into that game. It's their homecoming. You have all the hoopla surrounding that. It's often common that you come out the following week and just don't have that A game. And right now, Chippewa Valley just doesn't have it tonight.
Yeah, kind of laying an egg, so to speak, and maybe overlooking an opponent, Sterling Heights Stevenson. You look at their record on paper. They come into play tonight with that 1-6 mark, and you say, this one's a gimme, but we know it. Every single game in the MAC Red, there are no gimmies, and Sterling Heights Stevenson has come here to play here tonight, and credit them. I mean, there's a lot at stake for Chippewa Valley, and in a possible playoff berth, and to keep that competitive balance within the MAC Red. Credit the Sterling Heights Stevenson team for coming out here and playing one heck of a half of football.
Well, keep this in mind. Overall, opponents for Stevenson, they're averaging 10.9 points per game scored, and they're already 4 points above that right now. So obviously able to put 2 drives together that resulted in touchdowns, but the Big Reds now have to try to get some going. Rybicki dropped that initial kickoff. Now looking for some running room. Up the middle, still on his feet, still moving. Up over the 35 to the 36-yard line, and once again, the Big Reds will start with decent field position, but now it's a matter of whether they can do something with it.
And no sustained drive, so to speak, in this football game thus far, and 3 and out on their last drive. Something's got to change here for Chippewa Valley.
They got an eternity right now. 3:15 is a long time in high school football. So let's see if they can put something together. Tommy Schuster, the sophomore at quarterback. They like to throw the ball. We've seen that thus far. Let's see what they elect to do on first down. They hand it off right side, looking for some running room. Maybe a couple yard pickup that time by, look like 22, Stephen Charles. So the Big Reds looking to maybe switch things up, make an adjustment to what Stevenson's doing. Let's try to run the ball on them a little bit, and let's waste some clock. Grind this out a little bit. We need our defense to stay on the sideline for a little bit. They'll throw it. Schuster on second down. Fires out there into double coverage, nearly completed. Excellent job right there by number 8 of Chippewa Valley. We don't have a number 8 on our roster. I'll have to try to track that down at halftime, but
once again, Chippewa Valley getting themselves in this 3rd and long situation after the deep pass on second down.
I think that might have been a bad decision quarterback-wise by Schuster that time. It was double covered. I think you got to look for a safer route or maybe even tuck that thing and just try to pick up a couple yards that way and live to fight a new day on 3rd down. Now you're looking at 3rd and long. He's going to have to throw it out in the flats to Charles. Trying to break a tackle. He does. Gets out there looking for the first down. Going to be short. It appears as if he's short.
You like that play call there with Sterling Heights Stevenson bringing the pressure on the blitz to just throwing out there on that little swing pass. Let Charles do all the hard work. Unfortunately for them, he wasn't able to gain the sticks, and they're just going to keep the offense out on the field.
Well, that's a big call right here. 2.5 left to go in the half. If they don't pick this up, it gives Stevenson good field position. Instead, they run up to the line, and they draw Stevenson off sides. They run up to the line as if they were going to snap it and try to dive for it. And Stevenson looked like one of their players jumped over.
Were they drawn offsides?
That's going to be the question. Let's see what the officials call. And it is going to go against the defense, so automatic first down for the Big Reds. Stevenson wasn't disciplined for that. When that whole team ran up to that tight formation, it appeared as if they were going to snap it quick and try to get that 2 yards. Stevenson brought everybody up the middle and just jumped a little too far over the line of scrimmage.
And we might look back as one of the plays of this first half, that penalty, if Chippewa Valley is able to sustain this drive, and another quick hitter on that throw.
Pass looks to be complete.
Yep.
For a 3-yard pickup, number 8.
Schuster's pass complete, gain of 2 on the play.
Even the PA announcer doesn't have a number 8 on his roster, so they don't know who to call. So we're going to have to try to track down number 8 and see who that is. But brings up second down, and we'll say 6. 2 minutes to go here in the half. Big Reds down by 7. They'll look to throw again. Schuster going deep. Got a man out there. Pass caught. End zone. Touchdown, Big Reds. Maurice McBride. Boy, and they can strike quick, and now within a point of tying this thing up.
This was exactly how they beat Dakota last week. A Hail Mary pass right before halftime. Schuster not afraid to go deep, and when you got a target like number 1, Maurice McBride, all 6 foot, 2 of him on the outside, you can air the ball up and allow him to run underneath it. a terrific pitch and catch for 46 yards, and more importantly, 6 points for the Big Reds.
That was a beautifully thrown ball.
Perfect.
By Schuster. I mean, in stride, he caught that thing, perfect spot. And obviously a shoestring tackle is not going to bring him down. He had enough to get into the end zone. Extra point is up and good, so we are tied up at 14. And maybe now, Brad, a little life on the side of the Big Reds.
That might be the exact jump start this team, and really got to jump start that defense because they have had some difficulties getting off the field. But what you talk about, what a perfectly thrown ball. There's guys playing on Saturday that can't make that throw.
He's only a sophomore, so if you're Chippewa Valley, you got to be looking at that going, how do you win in high school football? A lot of times when you have a quarterback that's consistent year after year, you're going to be a competitive team. And by the time Schuster maybe becomes a senior, captain of this team or something along those lines, they're going to be in good shape next couple of years. But obviously that's getting ahead of ourselves a little too much. But you're looking at him right now. Obviously, 2 well-thrown balls, 2 touchdown passes for him. Now with 1:53 left to go, Stevenson will get the ball back. And, Stevenson, they like to run the ball. So can they sustain something in this 1:53 to try to get within range? They may have to put it up in the air to try to move the ball a little quicker.
And don't forget, they also burned a timeout on that fake punt play where Chippewa Valley came out in a funny formation. So 1 less timeout to work with as well.
Return comes up over the 25 to about maybe the 27-yard line, and that's where Stevenson will take over. 1:45 to go. That Chippewa Valley defense got a little breather there because the offense was out there a little longer than just that 3 and out. They were able to sustain a little drive, give them a breather. So 1st down and 10 now for the Titans. Let's see what they elect to do. If they want to just try to burn this clock by running the ball, maybe trying to pick up a 1st down or 2. Or if they elect to throw the ball. They hand it off to Starks, left side. It's going to be taken down after a couple-yard pickup. Clock continuing to run. We also got to pay attention to what Chippewa Valley might want to do, because if they're able to stop them, use a couple timeouts here, they might get the ball back with decent field position and maybe a minute left. But right now they're letting that clock run.
And we know how quickly they can score points. So a couple timeouts here. You don't take it right away, but I wouldn't be surprised if they took one here on 2nd down if they're able to stop the Titans short of the 1st down markers.
Out of the gun once again, they fake. They will look to throw. Pass over the middle, incomplete. So the clock does stop now on 3rd down. It's an interesting play call. I'm sure the coaching staff would have loved if that was open and you completed that pass. However, when you throw it into double coverage and you're unable to complete it, now it's 3rd down and 7, and it takes away a lot of your options, plus it stops the clock. It's going to favor Chippewa Valley if they get the ball back.
Sure, I'd be shocked if Stevenson does something besides just run the football here.
Yeah, they hand it off inside. Bouncing off of a defender, though. Starks has the 1st down. Boy, they had him dead to rights at the line of scrimmage, but he was able to spin and bounce off of it, picked up a 1st down, so that changes everything now for Stevenson as they'll reset the chains, and with 54 seconds remaining, they might continue to look here to get in the field goal range or maybe try to Hail Mary it towards the end zone.
This has just been an absolutely nightmarish start for the Chippewa Valley defense, and I think everybody in the stands anticipated run there, and they just weren't able to stop Starks.
Chippewa Valley football, Bagger Daves.
Obviously, we've seen that the offense can be pretty potent for Chippewa Valley, but the defense obviously needs to improve, and they need to make some adjustments in that 2nd half, and especially against the run. When you're down 2-1 in time of possession because the other team's able to just continually run the ball, obviously you have to look at that and make an adjustment. So
this has kind of been the bugaboo for Chippewa Valley this year. They're averaging defensively, giving up 28 points per game. But Jason, in league play, 39.5 points against. I mean, obviously you're playing some of the cream of the crop in the Eisenhowers and the Dakotas who have terrific offenses, but anytime a defense is giving up nearly 40 points per game in league play, it's, oh boy, back to the drawing board.
First down and 10 now. Ball placed at the 47-yard line. Chippewa Valley might have jumped off. No flags down. They will throw it. Got a man out there, incomplete, just overthrown. Intended for Jerome Cooper. And boy, Brad, he had him. If he would have caught him in stride, that was a touchdown for Stevenson. He had gotten behind the safeties and he'd have been gone.
It's just been a little bit of the difference between the quarterbacks here tonight. Schuster's been able to put the ball right on the money, and a couple Sterling Heights passes just not on the mark, and been the difference.
Maybe you credit that to not throwing the ball as much. I mean, that's the first pass attempt we've seen in a while from them in this first half. They will fake the handoff here and throw it again. A little setup screen on the backside, some running room there. Little stutter step, little showboating there by Archie Highgate. Out of bounds.
Yeah, he went out of bounds. So good on him for doing that. But it's a really well-designed play. Chippewa Valley had 4 black jerseys in the backfield, and it allowed the running back to get open. Good call there.
Yeah, almost like a delayed screen pass, because it looked like he was dropping back after the fake and was going to chuck that ball deep. And when those defenders started putting pressure on him, he was able to just dump the ball off to Highgate, who had lots of running room in front of him.
22 yards on the play.
Hand off to Cooper, left side. He spins. Now he's barreling his way to the first down markers, down to the 20. He's real close.
Another late flag.
This running game of Stevenson has been outstanding here in this first half. Let's see what the flag is. Another face mask, and it's going to go against Chippewa Valley. So tack a few more on, and now with 31 seconds, Brad, Stevenson's thinking end zone. I can't imagine they're thinking, let's just get 3 before halftime. They're able to move the ball down here. They could take a shot or two here at the end zone if they wanted to. And now we're going to get a timeout. They'll want to talk things over. Well, we mentioned this is the second to last game of the year, the regular season anyway. Chippewa Valley has Anchor Bay next week on the road. It's a road test. Anchor Bay struggling this season out of the MAC White. Stevenson relatively has struggled all year long. They next week play a crossover game as well.
Against Utica.
Utica, another MAC White team.
Home game next week for Stevenson, senior night.
So perhaps Stevenson looking to make some noise here tonight. And you never know. If you look at what Eisenhower did last year, Brad, they won a lot of games late, and they went on that late run, and it gave them some momentum, and maybe that carried over a little bit into this season. They're playing outstanding. Stevenson, you never know. Some of these young kids get some playing time. They win a couple games late. Might have a little hangover then to next year. We'll see. They will pass to the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Cooper.
Pass attempt incomplete.
They fake the handoff inside once again. A little floating pass towards the back corner of the end zone. Cooper just couldn't catch up to it.
This is a really well-coached Stevenson team, and really their third year now under the guidance of Coach Kevin Frederick, and we were able to go out to their practice last year as part of our MAC Red special, and I really came away impressed by their entire staff.
Brad, you could just kind of tell Jerome Cooper is more of a bruising style running back, not necessarily a receiver, because you could see a couple times there just couldn't catch up to the ball. Nixon fires that pass, nearly intercepted by McBride. Boy, just a split second too late to recognize that ball was on his shoulder pads. But now it brings up third down, and an interesting call here with 17 seconds to go. Stevenson still does have, actually it indicates that they don't have any timeouts remaining. So we oftentimes it's a misconception there. A lot of times they keep that wrong on the scoreboard, but if they don't have a timeout remaining, they're going to just kick the field goal right here. Yeah, this is a smart move with no timeouts. And now Chippewa Valley is going to try to ice them. Yeah, I think you almost, unless you're going to try for a pass towards the end zone and try to put up points that way, probably a wise decision, because I don't know, with 17 seconds and no timeouts left, would they have enough time to set up their field goal unit?
No, I don't think so. Obviously, it looks like Stevenson's going to keep their field goal unit out on the field. It's going to be about a 34-yard field goal from that left hash. And I don't know, you take one shot. I mean, you're the underdog on the road. You know you get the ball coming out of the half first. Why don't you take one shot at the end zone here?
And you don't have a lot to play for. And that's always a big variable. I mean, obviously they're not going to make the postseason. Let your kids go out there and have a little fun. Let's just try
compete.
one. You got one shot here because it's third down. Let them try throwing it to the end zone. If it's incomplete or even if it's intercepted, so what? But they're going to try for 3. The kick is up, and it is good. Boy, he would have hit that thing from 50.
Well, I guess when you got a field goal kicker that's that good, it's automatic.
That thing nearly went out into the parking lot, but Stevenson takes the 3-point lead here with 13 seconds remaining before halftime. But, I mean, I still fall back on that premise of that's great. You put 3 points up, and obviously you have a lead. But, you know, you did have the time where, you know, your quarterback, you could have put it in his hands and said, listen, if that pass isn't there, run it right up the middle, give us a shot at a field goal. Clearly our kicker can hit one from, even if you lose a yard or two on the play, can kick from that distance. I would have at least given him one shot to maybe go up 7.
Yeah, I see no harm in throwing a little fade to the back of the end zone, or, you know, have a couple guys go towards the middle of the field on some slant routes, and make sure you throw the ball in the end zone. You don't want to come up short of the goal line, obviously, but no harm in going for one there.
So we've seen Stevenson kick off a few times, and obviously they've not kicked it deep. They're keeping it away from Maurice McBride, who I guess could be Chippewa's Valley of Jabril Peppers. They're trying to keep that ball away from him. He's dangerous on the return game. And sure enough, they're just going to a little squib kick right there, and Chippewa Valley will just dive on it and have it with 10.5 seconds remaining.
Ball has been recovered at the 35-yard line. First down and 10, Big Reds.
Thought I'd give you a little Jabril Peppers there reference.
I noticed it. Don't think I didn't.
He's an outstanding player. He's exciting to watch for sure. And obviously making that comparison, McBride is one of the playmakers for Chippewa Valley. We've seen him the last couple years, and he can do some big things. Caught that touchdown pass down here on this end of the field. And
yeah, Pepper's a little bit of a do-everything player for Michigan. He's exciting to watch. And punt returns, he had one against Rutgers that got called back last year. But if you get a chance, make sure you watch that one on YouTube, because they don't come more special than that.
They will just take a knee here as Chippewa Valley will burn the final seconds, and we will go to halftime with Stevenson up by 3, 17-14. Brad, your thoughts on the first half?
A little bit of a shocker so far. Didn't really expect a whole lot out of Stevenson, just crunching the numbers and taking a look at what they've done so far this season, but give them credit. They've come out here on Chippewa Valley's home field and really put up a shocking 17 points, and they lead it going into the half.
Once again, 17-14. Stay with us. We'll be back in a few moments for the start of the second half. Don't go away.
Hi, my name is Tom Izzo, the men's basketball coach at MSU. The threat of school violence is something that affects everyone and needs to be taken seriously. OK to Say is a confidential way you can report anything that threatens your safety or the safety of others. If you see or hear something that doesn't seem right, submit a tip to OK to Say. You can call, text, email, go online, or use the OK to Say app. You could be the one person who helps to prevent a tragedy.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
All right, guys, we got to be smarter about what we bite on, okay? I want everyone to go outside. We're going to run Red Rover on 3.
What about you, Tony?
I'm going to run around in circles, flatten my arms, and make engine noises like this.
When it comes to playing, we kids are the pros.
We're eating right, too.
We fuel up.
To play 60!
If your school doesn't have a program, be a leader. Start one.
Click today and join the movement.
Welcome back here at Macomb Township Government Access. Jason Burnt and Brad Fetters getting set for the start of the second half here between Chippewa Valley and Stevenson. Varsity football. Titans have a 17-14 lead as we start the third quarter. And Brad, you got some stats from the first half?
Yeah, sure do. Obviously, Stevenson getting the job done on the ground, 186 rushing yards to go along with 42 passing yards for a total of 228 yards of offense. For Chippewa Valley, getting the job done through the air, 125 passing yards, only 12 yards on the ground for a total of 137. But Jason, you look at it and you crunch all the numbers. The 2 touchdown passes for Chippewa Valley covered 109 yards. That's 109 of their 137 total yards. So you take away those 2 big plays, Chippewa Valley hasn't gotten the job done.
Botched catch there on the kickoff. Able to scramble there, Stevenson up to the 15-yard line. Not great field position to start, so we'll see what the Chippewa Valley defense can do now. They have them pinned in a little bit. But that defense played a ton in that first half. We talked about it, almost like a 2-to-1 ratio, time of possession. Stevenson's running game just outstanding and just, you know, killed that clock. I mean, we even joked about it. The first half, an hour in, it was halftime, and you very rarely see that. But when you're running the ball play after play and you just keep that clock moving, you know, not a lot of stoppages. And
we've covered enough LCN games where they throw the ball, it seems like 50 times per game.
And we're not getting back until our office until 11 o'clock at night. So, yeah, we've seen it both ways. But, yeah, when you run the ball consistently, you can pick up first downs, and you can keep that clock moving. You know, that's a positive thing. However, they get called for an illegal substitution here on the first play of the second half. So Stevenson now even worse field position as the ball moved back to the 10-yard line.
So Stevenson running the ball 29 times in that first half for those 186 yards. It's just over 6 yards per carry. So really, that's efficient offense.
They'll try the right side with Starks. He was a major factor in that first half. He's going to pick up a couple yards, still trying to make something happen on that far side, but Casey Starks did a nice job rushing the football in the first half, along with Jerome Cooper, the 2 of them, and combo that with the quarterback keepers that they ran. Nico Nixon picked up some rushing yardage in that first half as well. Second down and 6 yards to go. So keeping his feet moving there. Cooper able to pick up some yardage. Now he's got room around that right side. Look out. Got one man to beat. Maurice McBride drags him down, but he's going to get a flag, and that's going to be a personal foul. As he looked like he grabbed his face mask and tugged him down, and sure enough, Casey Starks is shaken up on that far side. Seems to be okay, but McBride grabbed his face mask and yanked him down, and that's extremely dangerous. Or maybe it wasn't the face mask, a horse collar tackle. That could be just as bad. And when you grab a player's pads by the back of your neck there and try to yank them down, you can give someone whiplash real easy, taking them down there.
And a lot of frustration. And the Chippewa Valley defense, they've just not been able to bring down the ball carrier here tonight. And it's really been Starks that's gotten the job done for Stevenson, rather. And it's the 4th kind of personal foul call against the Chippewa Valley defense here tonight.
They try it again, this time with Cooper. Big Red's defense sniffed that out, nowhere to go. But, you know, that last play, Brad, was just a simple off tackle run to the right side, and Chippewa Valley just didn't read it, and he got to the outside and turned on the Jets, and the only one that could stop him was the safety, Maurice McBride, and fortunately he did, even though it was a penalty.
There's really no secret to what Stevenson's trying to do here tonight. I mean, it's just Chippewa Valley's put helmet on helmet, and they haven't been able to stop him.
That last play, though, 1 yard loss, so 2nd down and 11 here for the Titans. They will throw it. Nixon over the middle, pass complete to the 10-yard line. Close to a 1st down. Number 46 on that reception. That's Brad O'Mara, the fullback.
I'll move the chains. Say it was good enough for a 1st down.
And they're going to just set them down. 1st and goal now here for the Titans from the 10-yard line. So this is a big spot in this game for the Big Reds, Brad. They're down by 3. If Stevenson in the first possession of the second half comes down and scores, you go down by potentially 10 points here. It might be tough to come back.
4th time in the red zone already for the Titans. 3 for 3, 2 touchdowns and that field goal.
We know they have a field goal kicker. They hand the ball off right side. Not a lot of running room there as Starks, the ball carrier once again.
Maybe picked up a yard. Stay real close to the line of scrimmage and just unable to pick a hole there and try to gain the edge eventually on the play. Like that little drag route they ran with the fullback Brad O'Mara, number 46. He went off to the sidelines now, but that previous play to pick up the 1st down and move the ball inside the 10-yard line. Stevenson wouldn't be surprised here if they really opened up the playbook in this second half with nothing to lose.
2nd down and 8, and this is going to be ruled dead. They handed it off to Cooper, but it's going to be a false start against Stevenson, so move them back.
Shooting themselves in the foot there.
Well, Brad, we heard some scores at halftime that were pretty surprising. Obviously, by the time this game hits air, you know, people will know who wins those games. But Dakota big over Romeo was a surprise on the road. They're going to, not for sure, but obviously the favorite now at that point up by 35 points. They're going to win that game. Going into their final game against L'Anse Creuse North, they'll be looking potentially for that 6th win. Chippewa Valley, we said they control their own destiny. They win the last 2, they'll get in at 6 wins. But right now, Stevenson knocking on the door, and if they can't beat this tough Titans team tonight, their best would be a 5th win next week against Anchor Bay. So Nixon holds on to it. Quarterback keeper right side. He's going to be shoved out of bounds after about a 1-yard pickup, maybe. So the defense tightening up a little bit here in the red zone.
Absolutely nothing on the edge that time for Nixon.
3rd down and goal, Titans.
So 3rd down and goal from the 10-yard line. Stevenson would be happy with 3 points here. I mean, obviously you want to get in the end zone, but if they can just continue to put points up on the board, which they haven't been able to do all year long, they'll take it. 3rd and 12. Nixon out of the gun. Cooper in motion. Takes it. He will throw it. Under pressure. Little screen pass. Got some room out there. Cooper fighting down to the goal line.
He reached out for the goal line. Did he get it?
The official is ruling him down at the 1-yard line. Now, this will be a decision time for Coach Frederick because that ball is going to be placed at the 1. Do you go for this or do you kick your 3 points here? This is, I would think you'd lean towards going for it with nothing to lose.
Sure looks like they're going for it. Nixon coming out.
Well, you know what they did last time on the goal line. They rushed up quickly under center, and
he plunged it in himself.
We'll see if Nico Nixon does the same exact thing or if they have something else in mind. 4th down and goal from the 1. Big play in this ball game. Nixon out of the gun. Takes the snap, hands it off. Right side, cruising into the end zone is Casey Starks for a Stevenson touchdown. Boy, he turned the corner there. There was no black jerseys in sight, and he could have walked into the end zone. An extra point away now from a 2-score game, and kind of shocking turn of affairs here tonight.
Yeah, as soon as they sent Starks in motion, you kind of figured he was going to take the ball on the sweep play, and he found that edge, and it was well blocked by that offensive line. He was able to coast into the end zone. It's a fake.
It's a fake. They try the right side, option to throw it. Going to have to, he throws it up there. It is caught for a 2-point conversion. The fullback, Brad O'Mara, they're able to complete it, so Stevenson now takes a 25-14 lead.
I believe the ball might have gone into the hands of number 40.
Was it 40, Austin Capizzello?
Got it on the deflection.
Well, that's number 40 right there. Wow,
Unbelievable.
how about the play calling, though? I mean, you decide instead of just going up 10, they're not going to be expecting it. Let's run a fake and run a 2-point conversion. Works out for the Titans, and now an 11-point ball game. Still 2 possessions, so.
This home crowd stunned.
Yeah.
Guys in those black jerseys down there stunned, and I think you and I are a little stunned as well.
Well, when you look at a team, and you know, Stevenson's obviously has the tradition in the MAC Red. They're always going to be a powerhouse type of team. They get the kids. They're a high enrollment school, just like your Dakotas, your Eisenhowers, and your Chippewa Valleys. But you know, this year when you look on paper, and they only have 1 win, it's against a crossover team. No wins in the MAC Red this season. You got to think on paper that Chippewa Valley, coming off that big win against Dakota, they need to get to 6 wins. That they're going to be the favorite in this game. A little pooch kick there goes out of bounds.
No, it got touched there by Chippewa Valley before it went out of bounds. A little bit of a mistake. It would have been a penalty for that ball going out of bounds.
Still going to have pretty good field position. But anyway, backtracking to that thought was you just got to look on paper and say, well, clearly Chippewa Valley, they have more to play for. They're playing at home. They're playing a team that obviously is down record-wise.
Senior night?
Almost senior night. This is the last home game for a lot of these seniors. You take all those variables into account, you got to think Chippewa Valley would come out fired up and really put it to the Titans. It's been the complete opposite.
Sure.
The Titans have just taken it to the Big Reds.
And Chippewa Valley has not stopped Stevenson one bit. They've scored on their last 4 drives, and they were going to score on the drive previous to that when they fumbled the football.
Quarterback option right there. It's going to be big, good enough for a first down. Beautiful run right there by Schuster. And that's something we didn't see from Chippewa Valley in the first half, a lot of first downs. They scored their 2 touchdowns on single plays, so.
A little bit of a hurry-up offense here as well out of the Big Reds.
You can see a little bit of urgency now that they're down by double digits. They hand it off, Instant up, another quarterback keeper. Pickup of about 3 yards. Dangerous tackle right there, a little helmet on helmet, but no penalty called.
Quarterback going down, that becomes even more dangerous there when you got guys coming in wanting to complete that tackle.
That's Jerome Cooper, plays on both sides of the ball out of the safety position. So it brings up 2nd down and 7 after the 3-yard pickup. Schuster will throw it, looks to his right. Pass complete to the 46-yard line. That's number 8, and we did get his number at halftime. Brad David Ellis was brought up from the JV. So a nice catch there. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 3. You got to think, Brad, this is, even though this is the 3rd quarter, you got to think this part of the field is 4-down territory, especially on short yardage, 3rd down and 3. If they're unable to pick it up, looking at 4th down.
Yeah, now that this has become a 2-possession game, and the way that Stevenson's been able to get the job done on the ground, they're chewing up clock. They've really shortened this football game. So Chippewa Valley now on their side of the 50-yard line. You mentioned it, 4-down territory for sure. Fortunately for them, they're going to move the sticks here.
First down, Big Reds.
That'll be a 1st down. Schuster
just enough,
wiggling his way through to get that extra yard for a 1st down. So ball's going to be placed at the 43-yard line. 1st down and 10. Chippewa Valley needs to kind of strike quick just to get a little bit of momentum back. Little option there, a little forward pitch up ahead to Rybicki, but nowhere to go.
Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage there.
A well-designed play, but Stevenson's defense all over it.
Rybicki on the carry.
Ended up losing a yard.
Yeah, Chippewa Valley, I think, has had success with those slant patterns and obviously the middle of the field, and I think they just got to utilize their strength and go back to that.
Getting back to basics, right?
They're not a strong running team. They like to use the whole field, but in between the hashes is where they've seen a lot of success here tonight. Schuster will throw it. Sets up a little screen. A bad pass, though, incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd and long.
Pass attempt incomplete.
Intended for Stephen Charles, excuse me. They would have had some room to run there, Brad, if it wasn't for the drop pass, but I think Schuster just didn't have enough on it to float it over the defender's arms and to get Charles out into space. 3rd down and 11. They got to throw it. Instead, it's an option to run. Schuster making a couple players miss and then takes a big shot. Once again, Jerome Cooper fired up. Players chirping at one another down there after that big hit. Schuster okay, he's up.
2 yards short. Got to go for here, no doubt about it.
Yeah, 4th down and 2. Spread them out. This is what they've done. Let's see what happens here. It's a big play. Schuster out of the gun.
Trips on the right side of the field. We'll see if he goes that way.
They show blitz. They come with it. Schuster, pass, complete. Room to run on that left side. David Ellis picks up another 1st down for the Big Reds. That's a huge play in this ball game.
Play of the game so far. They're on 4th down and short, and really no surprise. Chippewa Valley doing it through the air.
Great job by the offensive line there to pick up that blitz too, because they gave Schuster just enough time to stand in there and to find Ellis cutting across the middle. 1st down, Schuster wiggling his way once again up the middle. Nice pickup on 1st down inside the 10-yard line.
Schuster's really taking some licks on this possession, but he continues to get up and guiding the team here. Big possession, their first of the second half, looking for that answer.
And this is the longest drive they've had over the course of the game. Even their scoring, like we said, they were quick hitting plays that it was like one play, boom, touchdown. And this one has been a sustained drive.
Yep, 9th play of the drive.
They hand it off right side, and that is Charles trying to make something happen. Picked up a couple.
Steven Charles on the carry.
Steven Charles, senior running back. Good patience that time. He wanted to go up the middle and nearly was taken down at the line of scrimmage, but it was able to use a little speed to bounce to the outside and got himself a couple yards. So it'll be 3rd down and 1. And it looks like they jumped off. Nope, they're going to type formation, plunge it right up the middle.
Get that first down.
And they're going to get the 1st down at least. They're not going to have a touchdown here, but for a moment there, it looks like the offensive line jumped off sides, but they were just setting themselves up in that tight formation.
So now this gives you 4 fresh downs to play with from the 2-yard line. Schuster's going to come over and talk to his head coach, Scott Merchant, to decide what they want to do here.
Got Stevenson on their heels a little bit after this drive. Looking for a much-needed answer. 1st down and goal. They hand it off inside to the goal line. Touchdown, Big Reds. Another big hit there by Cooper, but it's all for naught as Charles is able to get into the end zone. And the Big Reds right back in it. Now, Brad, the interesting question, a little too early to go for 2 here?
I think so. I think you take the points with 3:31 now remaining in the 3rd quarter.
See what they elect to do. Schuster's back out there. I don't know if they're going to bring their offense out, try to go for 2, or if they're just going to take the extra point. But I seem to tend with your decision, too, of what you would do. I would just take the extra point right here. You got a whole quarter of football to play. And in high school football, with the clock stops every time you get a 1st down, they reset things. That's an eternity. I think you just take your points when you can get them.
Now there's all kinds of confusion. Guys running all over the place, and they're gonna go for 2 here.
They're gonna go for 2. And now we're gonna get a timeout. Everybody confused.
Timeout on the field.
Several players not lining up in the right spots and looking back at the coaching staff with their arms up, not knowing exactly what they should be doing. But Chippewa Valley calls a timeout to talk things over, and seems like they're going to come right back out with the same group and go for that 2-point conversion.
Well, if you consult the handy-dandy 2-point conversion chart,
which I often do, Brad.
And if you're trailing by 5 points, the chart says to go for 2.
Okay. Well, when you're down 5 in the first quarter, I'm going to remember that team should go for 2. But no, I don't know. I think you have a ton of time left, and I think if your offense can get the ball back and you can stop Stevenson and you put the ball in the end zone once again, yeah, you're going to only be up by a couple points, but that's what they're looking at right here, is if you were to convert here and then get another touchdown, that would put you up by 3. So makes sense. Schuster to throw it. Good protection to his right side. Caught. Well, not touchdown. Conversion. Successful. Rybicki.
Flag on the field, though.
Oh, there's a flag. Rybicki caught that one for the conversion. Let's see what the flag is. It's going to go against Chippewa Valley. So we're going to line it up and do it again.
That's a big one. So that's going to move the football back. And
holding indicated by the referee.
a 10-yard penalty going to move this one back.
And now I think to try to go for 2 here is a little gutsy. I think you almost have to try to kick that extra point now and get at least one.
Well, then it becomes a 30-yard extra point as well.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, no matter what happens, Stevenson cannot intercept this ball and return it. They can't pick up a fumble and return it. It'd be a dead ball. If Chippewa Valley does not convert, it's a dead ball no matter what. So at this point, you fire it into the end zone and see what happens. Schuster can run the ball as well, but obviously they're going to kick it, and it looks like they're bringing out a kicking team. So a big penalty. They had the 2-point conversion. Instead, now they're going for a deep extra point. Unless it's a fake, we'll have to just keep an eye here. But a 30-yard extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. So they tack on one more. 25-21. 4-point lead here for Stevenson now. I think that was probably the best decision. Obviously, it worked out for him, but man, what a backbreaker. You get the 2-point conversion, and a penalty brings it back. You could be within a field goal here instead. Now you still need another touchdown or a couple field goals in this game to win it.
Yeah, we might be looking back at that 2-point conversion and the hole that occurred on the play might be in a changing factor in this ball game.
So now let's see how Stevenson answers after giving up a touchdown. Got to give Chippewa Valley credit. They're coming out of the locker room. First time they see the ball, they move it down. A nice sustained drive that resulted in a touchdown.
A 12-play drive, longest of the evening by 6 plays.
Now kickoff will be taken at the 10-yard line, bobbled momentarily, brought up to the 20, 25-yard line.
Kick return back to the 32-yard line.
It'll be down at the 27-yard line, and that's where Stevenson will set up shop. And really, the big factor in this game has been the running game. Can Chippewa Valley stop them now moving forward? The big playmakers, Casey Starks and Jerome Cooper, the running backs, have played a big part in this game. If Chippewa Valley can slow them down and get this offense off the field, they're going to have a shot at this thing.
Yeah, and it's really opened up the passing game for Stevenson as well. They were able to complete their only 2 passes of that previous drive to start the third quarter. Picked up 11 on one pass and 13 on the other, so 2 passes for 24 yards. Stevenson's going to continue to spread the field and give you multiple looks from wide receivers. I got trips here on the left-hand side and a wide receiver at the top of your screen.
Starks in the backfield, a little quarterback keeper. He's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Oh, he does. He kind of squirts through there at the last moment. Thought they were going to have him dead to rights at the line of scrimmage, but able to pick up a couple yards. So positive play.
And yards after contact this evening has just been remarkable by Stevenson.
Keep in mind now, number 18 in the game, that's Todd Pappert, so it's not Nixon. They've changed out quarterbacks. Pappert now in. Once again, they go trips to the left. 4 wide receivers in total. They hand it off. Starks looking up the middle. Positive yardage close to the first down marker. I think he's going to be a little bit short.
He can really carry a pile, can't he?
Chippewa Valley, they really haven't made contact with the running backs until they have picked up 3 or 4 yards.
No,
I mean,
no contact in the backfield.
The point of contact has always been positive for Stevenson there.
Measurement here.
And that's a big indicator that obviously your offensive line's doing something right when you can get push or open those holes, and your running back, before he's even met by a linebacker or a secondary player, is picking up 3 or 4 yards before the contact is even made. And of course, as you mentioned, Brad, Cooper and Starks, tough to bring down. They're going to pick up a few extra yards. That kind of leads to that 6 yards per carry that you brought up earlier.
First down.
So Stevenson gets the first down. Keep the ball moving. We have another quarter to play, and it should be an exciting quarter. Temperatures dropped here tonight. A little chilly outside. Chippewa Valley showing blitz, a bad snap. Stevenson unable to fall on it. Chippewa Valley has it. A huge turnover, and the Big Reds come away. Wow.
Center just fired that one into the dirt.
Wow, 51. Mikhail Kola recovered it, and you could see, Brad, obviously Papper tried to fall on it. He fell over the ball, and Chippewa Valley was able to then land on it to recover. And 2 big turnovers tonight. One of them didn't hurt Stevenson. They had a long drive where they fumbled. It didn't come back to haunt them, but this one might, because now Chippewa Valley has it in the red zone, and with a chance to perhaps take a lead, this would hurt Stevenson.
Yeah, ball on the Stevenson 23-yard line, giving Chippewa Valley a short field and a quick turnaround now for the Stevenson defense. And QB keeper, a big chunk of yards here.
And a great fake because Stevenson bid on it. First down for the Big Reds. Schuster with an excellent fake that time. Almost the entire defensive line went the direction of Charles, who was the running back, and obviously gave Schuster some room. So it's going to be first down and 10. They hand it off this time inside. Pickup of maybe 1 or 2. Inside the 10-yard line will bring up second down and goal.
Haven't called Charles' name too much this evening, as Chippewa Valley's kind of been content to throw the ball around a little bit. Now with knocking on the doorstep, I'm sure we'll see a heavy dose of the run game.
We quickly approach a minute to go here in the third quarter. They fake the handoff inside. Schuster, he's going to be met and sandwiched by a bunch of white jerseys. Not sure if he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage or not.
Linebackers coming up to make the play there. Defensive line bit too, so.
It'll bring up third down. And under a minute to go now here in the third quarter. Schuster out of the gun. And now what are we going to get? Well, they're looking back, getting a new play call. Maybe a little audible here. Trying to catch Stevenson off guard. They will throw the ball. A little slant pattern. Caught, end zone, touchdown. Maurice McBride, second touchdown catch of the game. And now the Big Reds have a 27-25 lead.
Too easy that time for McBride. Terrific route run there to get inside the defender, and a well-thrown ball on the inside. An easy pitch and catch and 6 points.
I think the coaching staff saw something, that they were playing man-to-man coverage on that outside, and they recognized that McBride could catch that one on a slant. I think that might have been the audible change, and it was well executed. And Schuster with another touchdown pass, giving him 3 on the ball game. The kick is up, and that's an important extra point, because now it gives Chippewa Valley a 3-point lead. Stevenson could tie it with a field goal instead of taking a lead. So That's an important kick.
We talked about the 2-point conversion on the previous touchdown, but how about the 30-yard field goal as well as a main factor in this game now that the lead has gone back up to 3 points now for Chippewa Valley rather than 2.
Yeah, that extra point kick from 30 yards out after that penalty was huge, and you know, we joked about it. And
yeah, we downplayed it because we said, well, they didn't get the 2 points, but yeah, nailing a 30-yard field goal in high school football is not always a gimme. Yeah.
The only difference is that Stevenson would need a touchdown to take the lead, but right now they could get into field goal range to tie it with a whole quarter to play. There's still a ton of football. Both teams could score 2 or 3 more times each. We don't know, so long way to go, but right now Chippewa Valley leads at 28-25. 34 seconds to go, and a little pooch kick once again. This one towards that left side. Stevenson picks it up, and now they'll run back. Chippewa Valley, nice containment, excellent tackle right there. Is that number 23? Boy, that's a beautiful tackle by Tony Sykes.
Nice tackle by number 23.
There might have been some room to run on this near side if he doesn't make that tackle.
Yeah, there's plenty of green space on this near side of the field because of the kick going to that far sideline, and you mentioned a shoestring tackle there. Might have saved an even bigger return.
So 28 seconds remaining on the clock here in the third. Let's see if Stevenson can get a play or 2 off before the end of the quarter. A bad turnover obviously cost them and allowed Chippewa Valley to reclaim the lead. They hand it off to Starks. Very common play they've run all night long. Chippewa Valley has struggled to stop it. That time, a few yards on the pickup. Just a simple draw handoff off tackle and able to pick up positive yardage all night long. Looks like that might be the last play. I don't think Stevenson's going to rush to try to get another play off here to end the quarter. And the time will expire. So an excellent ball game we have here at the end of 3 quarters of play. Chippewa Valley has the 28-25 lead. Stay with us. We'll be back for what should be an exciting 4th quarter. Don't go away.
Here you go. Here you go. All right. Give me your keys if you want another beer.
Although parents may have good intentions when they allow teens to have a party in their home, permitting teens, even your own child, to drink alcohol is a big mistake. Don't allow underage drinking. It's illegal and can result in serious consequences. Parents who host parties where alcohol is served to minors lose the most.
Welcome back here at Macomb Township Government Access. Jason Burnt, Brad Fetters, set for the start of the 4th quarter here between Chippewa Valley and Stevenson varsity football. Big Reds coming from behind there in the 3rd quarter to take the lead 28-25. Stevenson has it now, 2nd down and 6. Blitz coming. Stevenson able to pick it up. On the near side here, a little quarterback keeper by number 18, Todd Pappard. It'll bring up 3rd down, and a big 3rd down for Stevenson.
Chippewa Valley very fortunate to get back on side there. It looked like they had jumped off, and instead of having a 2nd down and short, it's now a 3rd down and short.
A lot of times when you jump off sides in high school football, they'll throw that flag before the ball's even snapped, not even give you a chance to get back. But this is a big 3rd down, 3rd and 1. Stevenson's been running the ball successfully all night long, so odds are they're going to be handing this one off to Starks. Pressure up the middle. They hand it to Starks, but a beautiful play broken up by Marcel Lewis in the backfield. And we mentioned you've not seen much of that in the plays broken up behind the line of scrimmage here tonight, but that's a huge one for the Big Reds.
Just shooting right through that A gap from that linebacker position. Lewis making the biggest tackle of the night. If Stevenson picks up a 1st down there and keeps his drive alive, you never know what's liable to happen, but Chippewa Valley stops him really for the first time in quite some time and forces a punt. Stevenson hasn't punted. Yes, they've turned over the football, but they haven't punted since their very first possession of this football game.
Jacob Rybicki back to take this kick. Boy, and if you're Stevenson, the way you've been running the ball here tonight. You obviously were thinking this is going to work. We're going to pick up at least 1 yard. Nice return on this kickoff by Rybicki into Stevenson territory, tackled down at the 42. So great starting position for Chippewa, and you can feel that pendulum starting to really switch towards the Big Reds ever since they've been able to reclaim the lead.
Yeah, last 2 possessions now have started in Stevenson territory, and that's how you win football games, coming up with turnovers and special teams. Defense wins championships, and those 2 turnovers have been huge here tonight for Chippewa Valley.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 from the 42-yard line, and boy, a touchdown here would really put the pressure on Stevenson, a team that has struggled to score all year long. We've talked about that tonight, but obviously it would put the pressure on them late in the 4th quarter to have to come back and score a touchdown, maybe more. We'll see. Schuster looking to throw, going deep, got a man out there, incomplete. Pass intended for Rybicki, overthrew him just a bit.
Put a little extra into that pass. His eyes got big. He knew he had his top receiving threat wide open right down the middle of the field, and it's a little bit too hard now, the outstretched reach of Rybicki.
2nd down and 10. Well, if you're going to go deep, why not go on a 1st down and give yourself better options moving forward?
Plus side of the field, sure. 3 more downs now to work with.
4 wide receivers for Schuster. Takes it, hands it off. Good adjustment there to get himself some running room with Charles. Little head shake there at the end, trying to pick up a few extra yards, and a beautiful run right there by Steven Charles. Boy, he could have been stopped in the backfield. He was able to make one man miss and get to the outside.
How about Schuster here tonight? He's really showing off that arm, and his predecessor, Burning Stool, set all kinds of school records at the quarterback position, and Schuster only a sophomore. 2 more years possibly with him at the helm of the quarterback position, he could break some of those records.
They hand it off inside once again. So now Chippewa Valley maybe just looking to slow things down a little bit, knowing that maybe we can get some points here, and we want to kill some clock. We definitely don't want to give Stevenson a ton of time if we do score. You can see Charles hobbling a little bit. So now Schuster has it 2nd down and 6. They fake the handoff. He'll keep it up the middle. Down to the 17-yard line. Looks like he's going to be a yard shy of the 1st down.
Really no hurry to get to the line of scrimmage and snap this football. The clock is on your side. It's your friend right now, and we talked about Stevenson in the 1st half wanting to shorten this game by running the football and keeping this Chippewa Valley offense off the field. The same can be said now for the Big Reds.
So 3rd down and 2. They will hand it off up the middle. Charles, little burst, has the 1st down. Well, he did not hesitate. And a lot of times we see running backs knowing they only need 1 or 2 yards. They kind of slow up and they hesitate, and the Big Reds are going hurry up. They do it again.
Flag from the far side of the field.
Usually indication maybe the offense wasn't quite set up properly. Well, let's see what the flag is. But Charles on that run prior to this last play, just nice speed burst to get him the 1st down. Coach Merchant's getting an explanation right now. Did you see an indication of what the flag was, Brad? I didn't see if did they pick the flag up or confusion down there. Everyone's looking around, not knowing what's going on. Well, maybe we'll get an explanation here from this official. No, he's just going to say run the clock. So not too sure what to think about that, but nonetheless, we're going to keep playing here. 1st down and goal. Schuster will keep it. Looking to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown! A patient run right there by the QB. Waited for that thing to open up and just hit the corner. Touchdown, Big Reds, and now they have extended their lead, and Boy, they've shown dominance here in the second half after being dominated in the first half by Stevenson.
Yeah, really answering the bell, huh? Coming out of the halftime with 3 straight touchdowns. One way to do it, and doing it with the ground game and through the air. It's been a solid second half of football here by Chippewa Valley, with quite possibly their postseason life on the line.
Extra point kick is up, and it is good. The Big Reds now, after trailing Brad by 11 points, have a 10-point lead. So clearly the players have responded to whatever the coaches are saying down on this near sideline.
Yeah, 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter. It was 25-14, and it's been 21 straight points now for Chippewa Valley to reclaim the lead and extend it. 9:24 now remaining in the fourth quarter.
And the Big Reds need a win here tonight, need a win next week to get to 6 wins, which is an automatic playoff berth. Of course, you can get in with 5 wins, but you don't want to mess around with that and have to be one of the last teams to sneak in at 5 and 4, because then you're a 4 seed and you're going to probably be taking on a pretty tough first round opponent. So don't leave it up to the state of Michigan to allow you to play in postseason football. Get to your 6 wins and move on. And like we heard earlier, Dakota was winning big at Romeo. So obviously Dakota's going to, potentially have their 6 wins. They have L'Anse Creuse North in their final game. Chippewa Valley has Anchor Bay on the road in their final game. So as long as Chippewa Valley is able to win tonight and win next week, they'll be at 6 wins. And Brad, you and I were talking earlier about potential playoff matchups too in the district. You never really know where they're going to put people. Eisenhower obviously is going to be a top team, but do they send them the other direction with Romeo to go play the Lake Orions and the Clarkstons and those teams? Or do they reward Eisenhower by giving them perhaps a #1 seed in this district with maybe a Chippewa Valley, Dakota, and L'Anse Creuse North?
Always seems like Chippewa Valley and Dakota meet in the playoffs, so you kind of figure those two will eventually meet at some point in the postseason. And yeah, what Eisenhower has done this year, and it looks like they're going to cap off a perfect regular season, more than likely go 9-0. And I got to give you props. You called it before the start of the season. They were your pick to be the team in the MAC Red besides Dakota to win it. You gotta give them some love in the postseason and probably keep them close to home for all their matchups.
Yeah, Chippewa Valley and Dakota, I know they're big rivals, and that plays into it. They play in the postseason almost every year that both teams are in it. But there's really no other alternative. You're not going to send a Dakota somewhere else or Chippewa somewhere else to play in a district against other teams. Dangerous pass right there, nearly intercepted as it bounced around off a couple players, and McBride almost came up with it. But it'll bring up a big 3rd down now for Stevenson after that first down run was stuffed after a 1-yard gain. But
it's really a shame that they have to take into consideration so much of the geography, because it would be nice if Eisenhower had that easier road to Ford Field based on the schedule that they've played this year and the way they have just thoroughly beat teams.
When you go, and obviously it hasn't happened yet, but if they were to go unbeaten 9-0 and you play out of the MAC Red, that's saying something. You obviously are beating Dakota, you're beating Chippewa Valley, you're beating Stevenson, you're beating Warren Mott, who they're playing tonight, and they're handling in the first half from the last update that we got. You're handling teams that are pretty good, darn good football teams at the high school level.
Their margin of victory, Jason, in the MAC Red is 21 points. I mean, that's got to be unheard of. I mean, we'd have to go back and look at some of the records in the MAC Red and see if that's ever been done before. I mean, the level of competition in the MAC Red to win by 3 touchdowns, that's insane.
Yeah, usually you don't see that. It's a lot of close games, kind of like or back and forth, kind of like what we've seen here tonight. Stevenson had this game in control, and Chippewa Valley was able to take it back. On 3rd down, deep pass, tip drill, incomplete. Threw it into triple coverage. That ball went up in the air, and backside defender number 21, that's Marcus Nellum, nearly came away with an interception. But they force a punt, and Stevenson now in big trouble. 8:27 left to go here in the ball game. They're going to have to kick it away.
again, on behalf of all the young ladies and all the young men, we want to say a great big thank you. Thank you to you.
Now this will be the ball game. If Chippewa Valley can get the ball back and somehow find a way to get points on the board, I don't know if Stevenson can come back from this here tonight.
Ooh, nearly blocked it.
Nearly a block kick, you're right. And fair catch called for, and now you just got to stay away from it. Rybicki was going to catch that one. Luckily, he didn't touch it. Otherwise, that would have been a big advantage for Stevenson. They could have recovered that thing with great field position, but Chippewa Valley will have it. We'll see where the official actually places this ball down. It'll be about the 33-yard line, 32. Coach Merchant has his Big Reds primed for perhaps another playoff run after the offseason this past year, where he accepted a job at De La Salle and obviously retracted that, and they ended up hiring Coach Mike Giannone from that. They came from Dakota. Obviously, sticking it out here with Chippewa Valley, and he's going to have them in the playoffs perhaps once again. He's built a heck of a program here at Chippewa Valley, and give him credit for that. Charles on that first down carry picked up a few yards. And now the Big Reds obviously going to keep this ball on the ground, try to kill as much clock as possible up by double digits.
Well, look back, Jason, and back in 2013, that Dakota team, they really put a hurting on their competition. Average margin victory in MAC Red play, 31 points.
Okay.
So there you go.
It's been done before, and we've seen some good teams. A beautiful run up the middle. Charles got a lot more. Got one defender here, and now he's slowed up. He's going to be brought down at the 20, but an excellent run, and boy, that's almost like an exclamation point run here in the fourth quarter. Stevenson is in big trouble now.
2013 Dakota team. That defense, they really got the job done to the tune of only 20 points against in all of MAC Red play.
One heck of a football team. There's been some good teams in this area over the years. Dakota has 2 state championships, and through those years, Eisenhower had some good football teams as well, and Stevenson went to a state championship
state title game.
The MAC has always produced some good football teams, and this year it seems like it's going to be Eisenhower, Warren Mott. You can throw in that mix, but right now Eisenhower the class of the MAC. After that big long run by Charles, he's stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 12, now under 7 minutes remaining to go in the game. I mentioned I'd be shocked to see Schuster put this one up in the air again, at least on this drive, as I think the coaches want to just try to milk this clock as much as you can and get out of here with a win. They hand it off once again up the middle. Charles. Another maybe 1-yard pickup, and that's it. So 3rd down and long here.
This Titan team came ready to play here tonight and just eventually ran out of steam, and credit Chippewa Valley coming out of halftime. They made the adjustments necessary to win this ball game. Credit the staff, especially head coach Scott Merchant.
I give Stevenson all the credit in the world. Obviously, nobody expects you to win because of your record and obviously how many points over the course of the season you've been able to put up, and a heavy underdog. And they had an 11-point lead here in this game before Chippewa Valley was able to do something about it. Schuster taking down a big sack.
71.
Yeah, big number 71. That's Luke Gorniak. So now I would imagine Chippewa Valley is either going to try to kick this thing in the corner or maybe even go for it on 4th down here here in Stevenson territory. It's hard to think you're going to try anything else.
Yeah, 29-yard line, you're kind of in between kicking a field goal here and punting it, so you might as well just go for it.
Yeah, I think they're just going to keep this thing on the ground. Maybe you can pick up 5-10 yards.
If you get shot deep, it's just like a punt if the ball gets intercepted.
Empty backfield now for Schuster. He's going to throw the ball. Pass out, end zone, incomplete, and a flag. And boy, that is a heartbreaker for the Titans. It's going to be a pass interference, which is going to give Chippewa Valley another shot.
Angelo Isak, the Titan in coverage, and he's going to argue that his feet just got tangled up with the wide receiver there, and he's seeking clarification from the referee.
Obviously, they're going to mark this off. It's not an automatic first down, I don't believe. In high school football, it's
4th and 4 after the 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, it's 15 yards. It's not like in the NFL where you could throw it downfield and it's a spot foul. But obviously, 4th and 4 is a little different. Chippewa Valley can still pick up a first down and maybe even a touchdown here. And that'll obviously be the final nail in the coffin here for the Titans. Ball placed on the 15. So they'll get another crack at this 4th down now. 4th down and 4. And they will go for it once again. It looks like they're going to run the same play or something similar. And now maybe they're going to audible once again. They ran that quick slant out of this formation once before to Maurice McBride.
Schuster's so deadly with his feet, he can just hold on to this football and run and pick up those 4 yards.
And now they're going to call a timeout. Chippewa Valley wants to talk things over and see what they can do coming out.
How about the opportunity both of these teams had in week 1 to play at the collegiate fields? Chippewa Valley taking on Lake Orion over at Wayne State University, and Sterling Heights Stevenson playing Catholic Central at the Big House, the University of Michigan. Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, and obviously that win over Lake Orion is looking huge now for Chippewa Valley because they might just barely get to 6 wins. And that first week, and we always joke about it because they always play those tough crossover matchups. You know, this year, on top of Chippewa's big win over Lake Orion, Dakota played Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Well, they're kind of having a down year, but at the beginning of the year, you look at those as really tough matchups. They play a lot into whether you make the playoffs or not, and those are huge games to start off with. And Chippewa Valley, for 3 straight years, has been able to beat Lake Orion, and obviously it's going to help them this year perhaps get into the postseason.
And win over Cousino as well for Chippewa Valley. Looking to be a big one as Cousino's been really good.
That's their only loss, I believe.
For Cousino? Yeah, I believe you're right.
They're 6-1 coming into tonight's play. So
they play out of the MAC Blue.
That obviously is would have helped Chippewa Valley in that strength of schedule. That would have been a big win for them if they would only get to 5 wins.
26-18 in week 3.
They are going to try a field goal here, Chippewa Valley will, on 4th and 4. No longer going to go for it. So a 32-yard attempt. Kick is up, and it is good. So Chippewa Valley tacks on 3 more. They lead it 38-25 with 4:52 left to go in the ballgame.
Good smart football.
Well, that's a big decision right there because in high school football, we've seen snaps that can go over the holders' heads. We've seen blocks that could turn into points, and you know it's a dangerous call. But obviously, Coach Merchant and his staff, they have the faith in the line and their kicker to get 3 points, and they were able to do so. So 38-25, it's just amazing. They were down by 11 points, and Stevenson was dominating the football. They had 2-1 in time of possession against Chippewa Valley, just running the ball almost down their throats. And then Chippewa Valley was able to turn it around, and it's been a complete 180.
24 straight points. They've scored on their last 5 possessions. They have flipped the script here entirely and just making those adjustments at halftime. And
now this game is, I've seen stranger things, but I can safely say this game is pretty much all but over. I mean, Chippewa Valley obviously is in cruise control now. Stevenson's got to score and score quick. Let's see what they can do here off the opening kick.
Good start.
Yeah, they got good field position up to the 33-yard line. Got a player shaking up there, though, for Stevenson. It'll be 1st down and 10. Yeah, I think the part of the game, though, Brad, where you run the ball consistently here is gone away. You still are going to continue to utilize some of your players like Casey Starks and Jerome Cooper, and you're going to try to utilize that running game. But I think you got to try to pick up some big yardage, and sometimes maybe a screen pass here or there is going to be in play.
Yeah, those screen passes have worked here tonight for Sterling Heights Stevenson, and they've been slow to develop, but they've worked well.
They will throw the ball here on first down, and it is intercepted, tipped, and then picked off by Marcus Nellum, coming back the other way. And then the ball is fumbled and then picked up by Stevenson.
Marcus Nellum.
Wow.
So it looks like Starks was able to come up with the fumble. So Chippewa Valley gets the interception, and on the run back, they fumble it, give it right back to Stevenson. And as a result of that, where they placed in this ball, Brad, looks like a 1-yard pickup. So they'll reset the chains, and it'll be 1st and 10 from that spot, which is the 35-yard line. But that was definitely the strangest 1-yard pickup I've seen in a while.
Well, Chippewa Valley at this end just, oh, man, sending the blitz and bottled up in the backfield and sent down. Terrific tackle.
Brian Schweiwick quick in there. Yeah, they tried a delayed draw that time, and it just didn't work. And you had 4 black jerseys that were in the backfield before that play even developed. And I think Stevenson was lucky that time that handoff exchange worked, because Chippewa was deep in penetration before that, almost at the point of the handoff. So 4 minutes to go here. Stevenson now 2nd and 15. Got to get something going out of the shotgun. They will look to throw it. Under pressure. Another flag. It's going to be a hold. Back.
Stevenson sideline's going to want a pass interference call.
They're going to want pass interference, but it's a hold against Stevenson. You could see it as obviously number 51 of Chippewa Valley, defensive lineman Michael Kola. He was being held in
Chippewa Valley's going to decline it.
One-on-one on the outside with the pass rush. He definitely had his man beat and was held onto. Otherwise, that could have been dangerous for Nixon. So, decline, 3rd down and 15. Chippewa Valley can put this thing away right now. It's a 2-score game, but pressure coming once again. Nixon able to escape, still looking to throw, looking at his back. He's hit as he throws, and it is complete to the 45. Starks dragged out of bounds. It'll be a 1st down for Stevenson, and boy, what patience by Nixon. He knew he was going to get lit up, and he still stood in there.
He got that ball out milliseconds before he took the hit, and credit him for keeping his eyes upfield that entire time. He knew he had footsteps behind him, and you said it, he knew he was going to get drilled, and he did.
A couple times when he was scrambling, he was looking behind him. He knew that there was going to be someone on his tail. They hand it off here, number 5.
Look out.
Archie Highgate going to be taken down at near the 15-yard line. A beautiful run. And Stevenson knocking on the door.
Don't forget, Stevenson came out with that kind of trick kickoff to start this very game. So we know they got some bags of tricks in terms of their special teams. So if they can get a quick strike here and maybe get that onside kick, you never know.
2 touchdowns would give them the lead.
The importance of that field goal. Chippewa Valley just kicked.
Nixon takes the ball, looking to throw over the middle. Pass dropped.
Had a man wide open too on the slant.
That was Starks, and he's played an outstanding ball game tonight. You give him credit, but that one right there should have been caught, and he would have taken a shot. He did even after dropping the ball, but that would have been a nice pickup on 1st down.
Yeah, Maurice McBride coming up from that safety position, and it might have been Starks just kind of anticipating taking that hit. Anytime you go across the middle, you know you're going to take it. And
they call those alligator arms at times.
Couldn't bring it in.
You know that pressure's, that the big hit's coming, and a lot of times you bring those arms in smaller to try to not take that hit.
It's a big drop.
And now they hand the ball off inside and just nowhere to go. So that'll bring up a big 3rd down. And
not only do you not pick up yardage there, but more importantly, the clock now inside of 3 minutes to go.
Nixon out of the gun, 4 wide receivers, fakes the handoff, looks to his right, incomplete. Ball tipped and just not up in the air long enough, otherwise that would have been dangerous. But it'll bring up 4th down, and obviously it's a no-brainer. It's 4-down territory. They got to go for this. Down by 2 touchdowns, field goal's not going to do you any good with 2:42 left.
Here we go. Play the game. Got to come up with 9 yards.
Either Stevenson's going to keep this thing going and put a little pressure on Chippewa Valley here at the end of this game, or the Big Reds will be able to pretty much run out the rest of the clock, at least most of it. Nixon catches, rolling to his left, under pressure, fires end zone, knocked down, in a wise move there, but don't know if it was intentional, but number 11, Isaiah Booker, could have intercepted it and put him at the 20-yard line. Instead, just simply knocked it down, incomplete, and they take over on downs, 1st and 10. And Chippewa Valley, what more can you say? You know, they're down by 11 in this game. They look lifeless, and Stevenson really just pounded them on the ground. And like you said, was it 24 straight points that they came up with, and really turned it around, and their season on the line. They come up big. They're going to get a big win here tonight. Now they got to go play Anchor Bay on the road and try to get that 6th win.
And Anchor Bay kind of put next week into perspective, 4-3 on the season, 1-3 in the white division. So that'll be a game that Chippewa Valley will be favored in. And
well, if you take this into consideration too, we don't know the result of their game here tonight. As I look down the sheet, Anchor Bay is playing at Utica Ford tonight.
Okay.
If they were to beat Utica Ford, we don't know.
As
we talk right now, they would be at 5 wins. Both of those teams would be looking for their 6th win of the season. So, you know, that's not going to be a gimme. But nonetheless, obviously you want to get to 6 wins. I think Chippewa Valley, I've said it since the beginning of our broadcast, the Big Reds will get in at 5 wins because of a lot of the strength of their schedule, and the losses that they occurred were against good football teams like your Eisenhower and your Warren Motts. But you don't want to mess around with having to be selected as a final team with 5 wins. Just get to 6, know that you're going to play postseason football, and get ready to play. Stevenson takes a timeout after that 1st down run by Chippewa Valley, or excuse me, a 2nd down run by Chippewa Valley. You're going to try to get the ball back if they can, but with 1:41, I don't know if they're going to have enough time to do so.
For Chippewa Valley, we talked about it at the very top of the show. It'll more than likely be their 5th straight playoff appearance in 9 out of the last 11 years. And for Sterling Heights Stevenson, it'll be the first time they've missed the playoffs since the 2013 season. So the first time under Coach Frederick that they will miss the postseason.
Coach Merchant's done an excellent job. I mentioned that early on, and he elected to stay here at Chippewa Valley. Wanted to stay, told me that. He said, I never really wanted to leave, but you know, once things kind of played out and he was allowed to stay back here and didn't take that job at De La Salle, and he can continue to do what they've done for the past decade and really built up this program. And hey, a big win last week over rival Dakota. Maybe the future's bright for them moving forward against some of their rivals as well.
Yeah, Merchant in his 8th season here at Chippewa Valley, and let's talk about the job that he has done this season to get them to this point. 38 seniors on last year's team, 9 of those guys playing college football this season. So talking about a huge loss due to graduation, and to put a competitive football team back out on the field this year, and what's been an ultra-competitive MAC Red, and you look at some of their non-conference games. We mentioned that Cousino game. We mentioned the Lake Orion game. Those are 2 really tough crossover games. To win 5 games and potentially that 6th game next week is one heck of a job.
Victory formation now.
Especially with a sophomore quarterback.
As Schuster, the sophomore, as you mentioned, kneels down, and
Stevenson going to play this one out.
Call a timeout. They
can't take him with you. Can't take him on the bus. They're not good next week.
Chippewa Valley just doesn't even want to risk a fumble on a rush right here. They're willing to just kneel on it 3 times and kick the ball away, knowing that we're up by 2 scores. This one's all but over. Stevenson's going to have a tough time even getting the ball back, let alone trying to put points up with 1 minute to go. But Stevenson will be back. Don't get yourself confused. They are a powerhouse program in the MAC Red. They are a consistent big-time team in the MAC Red. Like I said, their enrollment's always there, right up there with Chippewa, Dakota, and Eisenhower. And as long as that continues to remain the same, they're gonna put a good team out every year. And they just suffered a down year this year, and I think next season they'll be much improved. And a lot of these kids that maybe get some playing time, underclassmen, they'll come out next year and be that much better. Chippewa Valley, as for them, they know that they can compete with anybody. They've beaten Dakota. They've beaten a couple other top teams. So, it's a matter of just getting on a roll in the postseason and making some plays, and you never know. Maybe a district championship could be in their future. They hand the ball off right side this time. They're not going to kneel on it. Going to force Stevenson to take another timeout, and they do. .55 seconds remaining.
We believe that is Stevenson's last timeout.
The scoreboard does say 0, so we've been burned on that before, where they don't necessarily have an accurate total up there, but I believe that is their last timeout. It's 3rd down and 15, so Chippewa Valley, all they really got to do is kneel on this thing, and even if they take a delay of game penalty, they can just let the clock run down, just kick it away, and Stevenson's not going to have more than, I would guess, about 10, 15 seconds left on that clock to try to do something. But we'll see. Schuster hands it off. Pickup of a couple yards there on 3rd down. It'll bring up 4th. The clock will continue to run. And we'll just see what Chippewa Valley elects to do. Chippewa Valley might not even bring the kicking team out. They might just elect to go for it here on 4th down, as crazy as it sounds. With no time left on the clock, it doesn't matter if Stevenson scores a touchdown in the final seconds or not. I mean,
they're going to take their delay of penalty or take their last time out.
Once again, on behalf of the...
And now they'll just celebrate a victory as the white flag put up, apparently. Time is going to run out. Guess they didn't, it was negated. They didn't have to run another play. So an outstanding ball game here tonight ends with a Chippewa Valley victory, 38-25. Brad, your thoughts overall on tonight's match?
One heck of a comeback here tonight by Chippewa Valley, finding themselves trailing in this ball game 25-14. Just one heck of a second half, a complete half of football, and it was needed here tonight. Stevenson came off the bus, is ready to play, and really kind of ruined Chippewa Valley's season, but the Big Reds were having none of that here tonight, and they come away victors 38-25.
Outstanding game for Chippewa Valley. We thank you so much for watching. On behalf of all of our crew here at Macomb Township Government Access and Brad Fetters, I'm Jason Burns saying so long. Once again, final score, Chippewa Valley wins it 38-25. Thanks for watching.